Hello, I'm Pat Rullo, and you know me, always ready to tackle any healthcare or hospital hazard. And today is a full day with an alarming upcoming hazard, a beautiful guest, and a special edition of shocking news. So find your best seat in the house or car, get comfy, turn off that cell phone. Why? Because right now it's time for the hospital hazard of the week.
Hello? Hello? Someone? Nurse? Can someone help?
Hello?
Help!
Someone? Nurse?
Hello?
Can someone
Someone?
help? Hello?
Nurse?
Help! Help me!
Help!
Stop the noise!
Nurse?
Hello, we're going crazy in here!
This is an alarming problem. Did you know that there was such a list as the Health Technology Hazard List? I didn't either. The Emergency Care Research Institute, ECRI, a Pennsylvania-based patient safety organization institute, released its top 10 health technology hazards and listed hospital alarm hazards as the number one issue on its annual list of the top 10 health technology dangers. With alarm hazards topping the list, the ECRI points out that excessive numbers of alarms lead to fatigue and ultimately patient harm. 19 out of 20 hospitals surveyed ranked alarm fatigue as a top patient safety concern, according to the results of a national survey presented at the annual meeting of the Society for Technology in Anesthesia. Alarm fatigue occurs when clinicians become desensitized to the constant noise of alarms or overwhelmed by the sounds and turn the alarms down or turn them off. The problem has become so widespread that last month, the Joint Commission that accredits hospitals throughout the country named it a national patient safety goal and now requires accredited hospitals and critical access hospitals to improve their systems. Approximately 80% of alarms that go off have no clinical relevance. Imagine that. Here you have patients being awakened by these sounds that they cannot interpret or control, so that raises anxiety and stress levels. And nurses have so many stimuli that they are required to respond to that over time they become desensitized. They don't notice it. They don't necessarily know which signals to prioritize because the alarms are not standardized. You just can't tell which alarm signal is more urgent across the many devices. Hospital staff are exposed to an average of 350 alarms per bed per day, based on a sample from an intensive care unit at the Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore. That translates into thousands of alarms per unit and tens of thousands of alarms per hospital each and every day. Can you imagine working in that kind of noise-filled, stressful environment? God bless nurses and their staff. I can't concentrate if the person next to me is chewing gum. Well, the beeping devices include those that measure blood pressure and heart rate, administer medications, are attached to the bed rails to prevent falls, among other things. Some beep when there's an emergency, and some beep when they're not working. Complicating the situation is the abundance of technology with no standardization for what the beeps mean, misinterpreting alarm signals, too few staffers to respond to alarms, and equipment malfunctions. And cases of patient harm caused by noise fatigue are probably vastly underreported, partly because ignoring or misinterpreting an alarm may have set off a chain of events that led to an injury or a death, such as due to patient falls, delays in treatment, and medication errors. For example, a 17-year-old died recently following a tonsillectomy at a Pennsylvania surgery center. After the surgery, the high school junior was given a potent painkiller that slowed her breathing. By the time the nurses checked on her 25 minutes later, she had suffered profound and irreversible brain injury. She died 15 days later. A nurse said in her deposition that the alarm on the respiratory monitor was muted. In another case, an elderly woman's heart rate monitor beeped unnoticed by staff for several minutes. Her nurse was preparing medications in another room where she could not hear or see the patient in the monitoring room. And by the way, the hospital had cut the position of the technician whose job was to monitor alarms at a central station. So by the time the nurse responded, the patient had suffered, again, irreversible damage and died shortly afterward. And just as a side comment from me, this doesn't sound like an alarm problem, but rather a staff shortage problem. How was that nurse expected to care for one patient and attend to an alarm that couldn't be heard? And yet in another case, cardiac electrodes became disconnected from a patient who fell getting out of bed, triggering a specific alarm that usually indicates that the wires are not connected. Medical workers discounted it because it was considered a low priority. No one responded until housekeeping staff discovered the patient on the floor 30 minutes later. And then, by that time, clinicians were unable to resuscitate the patient. So what's being done? Well, last month, the Joint Commission, again, the group that accredits hospitals, directed facilities to make alarm safety a top priority or risk losing their accreditation. The commission is requiring hospitals to identify the alarms that pose the biggest safety risks by unnecessarily adding noise or being ignored. And by 2016, hospitals must decide who has the authority to turn off alarms. Sounds very strange to me. In some hospitals' non-intensive care areas, officials have been implementing what's called a no-pass policy, meaning that no employees, from housekeepers to administrators, should pass by a patient's room if they hear an alarm. And that takes me back to the days in the hospital with my mom. Sometimes those alarms would beep forever. Nurses and aides would walk by and keep on walking. Hello, can you turn this thing off? We're going crazy in here, and my mom can't sleep. In fact, a recent study from the University of Chicago found that average noise levels in a hospital room easily exceeded the 30 decibels recommended by the World Health Organization, and that peak noise levels sometimes approach the level of a chainsaw. Not surprisingly, patients in the loudest rooms suffered the most, losing as much as an hour or more of sleep a night compared to those in the quieter rooms. And for every hour of sleep lost, the patient's blood pressure increased by as much as 6 points. A study published more recently looked at the brain wave and cardiac responses to isolated hospital sounds, like an ice machine dispensing its ice cubes, or a laundry cart rolling, an IV pump beeping, people talking in the hallways, pagers. And then they calculated just how disruptive those sounds were to patients who were asleep. The researchers found that while the responses differed depending on the stage of sleep, people were more consistently aroused by the electronic alarms from monitors and infusion devices and the ringing from telephones. Each time they woke, their heart rates jumped. And then this takes me to another obstacle in the quest for quiet. It's not the machines sometimes, but rather the approach to patient care in many hospitals. Doctors, nurses, and other members of the hospital staff often wake patients up in the middle of the night or during the afternoon nap to assess a non-urgent blood pressure or temperature, or draw blood or administer medications that could actually be safely done and delayed by a couple of hours. Sometimes, and in some places, it seems that everyone in the hospital tends to do things at their own convenience instead of working together as a team to figure out what might be the best for the patient. Yes, I know it's not a hotel. However, my mom endured many instances when she was awakened at 3 a.m. to give her a bath to save time for the incoming morning staff who likely were going to be understaffed, or so I was told. Well, I don't claim to have the answer to this, but as a patient or as an advocate for someone in the hospital, be aware of noise pollution and noise fatigue, especially when it comes to alarms. Ask what can be done to reduce the amount of alarms in your room. Ask for an explanation of the alarms in your room. Most patients don't know that a 1-beep alarm is not typically as urgent as those with 3 tones or 3 beeps. Ask the staff to group non-life and death actions such as bathing and blood draws into a single visit and not in the middle of the night. The quieter your environment, the better your outcome with fewer complications. Now, that's just a small solution that should not be alarming.
We're going crazy in here!
And with that, let's hear some legal news you can use. Let's spend the next 2 minutes with our friends at Schraff & King. They always have the answers. Well, David, Peter P., Facebook. If someone thinks they have a malpractice case, what should they do?
We will consult with clients regarding medical malpractice cases, possible claims in that regard. They contact us to schedule an initial consultation. Those will generally be done at no charge. At that point, we'll gather as much information as we can from the client. And from there, it's basically an investigative process. We will examine the information that we need to, including typically medical records after acquiring those, and evaluate the possibility of a malpractice claim, and then we will work closely and directly with the client in making decisions where to go from there.
And if our listeners have more questions, where can they reach you?
We can be reached by telephone at 440-585-1600, on our website at www.shrafking.com, or you can email us with some general inquiries at info@shrafking.com.
Great advice. Thank you for taking the time to help us today.
You're welcome, Pat.
Schraff & King. They're conveniently located on Somme Center Road in Willoughby Hills, just south of Route 6. Or you can always visit them online at schraffking.com.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna end, 'cause you've been a good friend.
Seniors often have difficulty expressing their needs, desires, and preferences, so they must have someone advocate for them. And who is more qualified for that than their family? Listen as I spend the next 2 minutes with my friend Jack Warren from Comfort Keepers. Jack, you have a very cool and free brochure that our listeners should have. Tell us about that.
We have a brochure called 20 Questions to Ask Before Hiring a Home Care Agency. And in this brochure, we have a list of, obviously, 20 questions. Things like, does your agency carry liability coverage? Do you provide 24/7 telephone service? We give you our answers in the column and encourage you to shop other agencies to find out what their answers are as well. So if you would like one of these 20 questions brochures, we'd be happy to send you one free of charge. Please give us a call at our toll-free number, 866-942-1960, and we'll make sure we get one of these in the mail to you right away.
I encourage you to call my friends right here in the Cleveland area, Jack and Bonnie Warren, for more information or to schedule a free in-home consultation. Call them toll-free, 866-942-1960, or you can visit them online at comfortkeepers.com, and be sure to let them know that I sent you. Comfort Keepers, keeping the comforts of home. You're listening to Speak Up and Stay Alive, Patient Safety Radio. I am your hostess, Pat Rullo. And today in the studio, we have renowned beauty industry expert Lisa Stewart, a trusted skincare expert whose passion and tireless efforts have earned her a place in the market as one of the most beloved and most sought-after skincare professionals. You might know her as the owner of the Solia Spa, located in Brecksville, Ohio. She had a career in retail sales for the beauty industry before transitioning into pharmaceuticals, and was also a very successful commercial and print model with the legendary Taxi models. So she truly understands the importance of skincare. A combination of her in-depth knowledge, extensive background in sales and modeling, accolades from clients and colleagues alike, and her desire and drive to stay ahead of the game makes Lisa Stewart the foremost skincare expert in the region. Simply put, Lisa loves to make people feel and look their absolute best. She's sitting right across from me now and looks absolutely gorgeous. Welcome to our show, Lisa.
Thank you. It's just an honor to be here.
All right, well, Lisa, tell us about the services you offer at Solia Spa and how they just might be different from every other spa.
The things that we do, it's very advanced skincare. It's very cutting edge, so different than what is currently out in the market or what has been in the market. And that's because we look at the skin and we address extrinsic aging, which is outside aging, and intrinsic aging, how the body ages from the inside. Overall, we look at a client, our core is education. So it's really important for us to educate a client, talk to him or her about their skin, their concerns, what we think, or we just want them to do what's right for their skin. So at the spa, everybody that works there, and I am so blessed to have an amazing staff. Everybody cares. They go above and beyond, not just, of course, with the client and the services, taking care of the client from beginning to end, but with their job and going above with their training, because we're required to have so many continuing education hours every 2 years. We go above and beyond that by going to spa conferences throughout the world. So we offer skincare, different facials, different kind of skincare treatments for the face, and then also massages, body wraps, and of course, nails as well.
Excellent. Bob and I visited your lovely spa.
Yes.
Solia Spa last week, and we so enjoyed our time together and want to share some of our conversations that we had with everyone today. Many people think of a spa as something decadent and a treat and something for the rich and famous, but really there are many health-related benefits versus cosmetic only. And being that this is a healthcare program, let's talk about why a regular visit to your spa is vital for good health. And let's start off with some of the benefits of having a massage on a regular basis.
Massage it's important to our bodies. First of all, it's de-stressing. And so many of us are just nonstop going every day, even on our days off, not taking any time out for ourselves. Taking time out for ourselves, whether that is reading a newspaper, sitting down, having a cup of tea, whatever it is, just to take a moment to ourselves and honoring ourselves to just really de-stress. We're just constantly go, go, go. And what a massage will do for you is and facials too, but most importantly, massages will increase your circulation. It's going to enhance your immune system. It's going to promote your nervous system to function better. It's going to reduce blood pressure, relieve pain and muscle tension, to increase muscle tone. It's excellent for people that are suffering from fibromyalgia, any kind of arthritis, diabetes, and also migraines too. It's just de-stressing, and I can't stress that word enough. It's just important just to take 1 hour a month and just honor yourself.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I'm ready right now.
Me too.
And so I assume it's the same for facials?
Yes. Facials, it's very de-stressing as well. The thing about a facial or about our skin is we can't hide our face. We can hide gray hair by covering it up, getting it colored. We can hide cellulite. We cannot hide our face. So that's the first thing a person sees. So a facial, what it's going to do, it's going to improve the appearance of our skin. It's going to have our skin become brighter, healthier, more radiant complexion. And that's what truly healthy skin is, a radiant complexion. It's going to improve our blood circulation. It'll reduce any kind of puffiness, any sagging in the face. Also drains sinuses. So it's wonderful for any kind of person who suffers from allergies. Also, it's going to reduce toxins in the skin, and it just, again, de-stresses you, lowers your stress levels. So it's a win-win.
Well, whatever you're doing to your face, you're right on. You're so beautiful.
Thank you.
It's lovely. Well, so you have this very interesting machine. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, there's a few things. There's microcurrent technology, and then there's light therapy, which is light emitting diodes, LED, and they're two separate things. Two different machines, although ours is combined.
Okay.
So you can have microcurrent treatments, and it's fair results, and you can have light therapy treatments, fair results, but you combine the two technologies, amazing results. And microcurrent, what that is it's little wavelengths of electricity that target the very top of your muscle, and that's where the fine lines and wrinkles are. They like to hang out on the very top of the muscle. So the microcurrent, it's kind of like having the muscle lift weights, and it tightens the muscle, so therefore you don't see the fine lines and wrinkles as much. And then you combine that with light therapy, and what that is it's energy, just pure energy that goes into the dermis, and it wakes up your skin cells so they produce more collagen. And the more collagen you have, the smoother and younger your skin's going to look. That's why someone who's like a teenager or somebody who's in their 20s, their skin just looks flawless, amazing, plump, because they have more skin cells, more collagen. So, and as we get older, we lose that. So, and this is what helps, the light therapy helps produce more collagen. So our skin's complexion is brighter and clearer. Any kind of scars, it helps fade scars and flattens them. It also shrinks pores, and any kind of discoloration, whether it be from sun damage, which mostly discoloration is from the sun, or it could be pregnancy related too, it will fade it. It does a lot more too. We use it for acne. We use it for psoriasis, eczema, rosacea. It can be used on diabetic ulcers. It's just amazing technology that's not invasive.
And as I believe you told me, you're just one of very few folks in the country that have this.
Correct.
So
Correct.
people listening from around the country can
Yep. Call us. Please,
call you.
please call us. Anytime you have a skincare question, whatever it may be about skincare, just call us. This is what our core is at Solia Spa. We're very dedicated to educating our clients, creating awareness, because that is key. So that's our passion.
Excellent. So we can relieve stress by just taking the time to care for ourselves in a kind way, and we can look better and have healthier skin. And as we all know, when your skin is less than perfect, we feel less than perfect. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's a very psychological situation
It is. It's all
as
tied
well.
in with self-esteem.
It really is.
Yes.
It is. Now, you also offer skincare products, and there's so many on the market that it's very hard to know which ones to buy. So what should we look for when purchasing a skincare product, and what makes some better than others?
That's a great question. I guess what's important is to know the skincare company's core. What do they stand for? Like the one line we use, they're based out of Texas. They're fabulous lines, very clinical. What they believe is they back up their claims with science. So it's interesting because I used to be a pharmaceutical rep. So, when we're selling a drug, we had to use a clinical study to back it up.
Right.
And it's nice to work with a skincare company that does the same. So this company, it's SkinCeuticals, it's a great line, but their core is preventing skin cancer. Okay. So they're all about prevention and protection. Prevention being the antioxidants, and also protection being the sunscreens. And this is important. And this could be another topic down the road, because what most of us don't know is when we're putting sunscreen on, we think we're protected. Well, we are to a degree. We're only 55% protected from the sun, from the UVA rays and the UVB. That's it. But when we add an antioxidant that has pure vitamin C and vitamin E, now we're protected 95% from the ultraviolet burning ray and the ultraviolet aging ray. And both are very serious. Ultraviolet aging is what we see 10 to 20 years down the road after a burn. We see the brown spots. Right. And the breakdown of collagen throughout our whole body. The UVB, the ultraviolet burning ray, is what we see right away, the sunburn.
Interesting.
So, and we're going to start hearing more about IRAs, which is a whole different other thing. It's a heat source, and it's from the sun. It also is from our laptops. A lot of chefs have this with their face because they're constantly exposed to heat, so they age faster.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
hear more about IRAs.
That's another subject for another day as well, right?
So I guess skincare, to know what their core is and also what kind of ingredients they're putting in their products too.
And so you've done the due diligence. I mean, you've got the products that will be
Absolutely
helpful and beneficial to everyone.
Absolutely.
So what should we be expecting when we come into Solia Spa to get a massage?
That's a good question. First, be greeted kindly. A warm welcome. And then we have you fill out a questionnaire so we can learn more about your body and your ailments, see what you're suffering from, and so how we can better address them and see what the correct massage is for you. You may come in thinking a sweetest massage, but we may think maybe a hot stone would be better because the heat from the stone penetrates deeper into the muscle, which will relax the knot in the muscle. So what to expect is first a consultation, and then after that, just a wonderful massage. Our massage therapist will walk you through it and tell you exactly what they're going to do. And then afterwards, we always may have our clients drink our water. Miguel always makes our waters every day. So they're different flavors. Today was apple cucumber. So every day is a different flavor. And then we always send you home with advice on that, what to expect for afterwards from your massage. Or facial as well.
Right. It's always important to drink a lot of water afterwards. Yes.
Absolutely.
Now, do you offer gift cards? Because in my mind, a gift certificate to a spa has to be the ultimate gift.
We do. We offer gift cards, and something that's important to us is our gift cards do not have an expiration date on them.
And this isn't just for women.
No, we have men and women. We have teens that come in, quite a bit of teens actually for acne.
So Lisa, give us all of your contact information. Where can we find you and Solia Spa?
Solia Spa is in Brecksville, Ohio, which is south of Cleveland. And our phone number is 440-526-0522. You can find us on the web, www.soliaspa.com. Solia is Solia, and then spa.com. Yeah, you can find us on the internet. You can call us.
Well, I thank you so much for visiting with us today. Good health
welcome.
begins with realizing that we deserve this kind of attention, and Solia Spa is the place to get it. And I appreciate your being here.
Thank you. It's a blessing. Thank you so much.
And folks, Lisa will have a 2-minute home on this program each week, so listen for her and make an appointment to take care of your body and spirit at the luxurious Solia Spa. Often we feel unhappy because we don't know what to do or what to say to make a problem or situation better. But what if you could talk to someone, a friend, who knew how to quickly get right to the heart of the confusion, pick out the main issue, and show you how it can be shifted? I think we've all felt this way at times. Well, let's spend the next 2 minutes with my favorite pharmacist and coach, Mary Sheehan. She has the prescription for happiness and knows how to put the person before the pills. Mary, tell us about your one-on-one coaching service.
I like to call them half hour to find your power, where someone could book a half-hour session and they can just tell me the main issue that they're struggling with and all about themselves, things that they feel are relevant, irrelevant. It doesn't really matter. I have kind of this ability to hone in and feel where the real juice of the problem is. So once we get to where the juice is, I'll go deeper, ask you a few more questions about what's really going on, and then give you some perspective. And if I'm in the right spot, it's usually accurate of what's really going on. And a lot of times just the right perspective is enough for someone to go, oh my gosh, I know what to do. But if not, I can give them suggestions and even words, like I'll write a little script for them. Because sometimes people see, oh yes, I really wish I could say this to that person. I'm just not quite sure how. So I would literally write out a few words and they could make it their own or say them for verbatim. And it's like a little power boost for them right in their own hands.
Excellent. So folks can contact you, arrange for a time one-on-one.
Yes.
On the telephone. It's pre-recorded. Yes?
Yeah, we record. Thank you. We do record the sessions so that and I will send them the recording of it so that they could listen back and have that to go by. And some people might book a package. I do offer packages where it's a bigger problem and that they might need some more time. But for those people that just want to get in and get out for that half hour, I do offer that because that's kind of the culture we live in. Sometimes that's all you need.
And we're talking about relationships, husbands, wives, children, divorce.
Even healthcare providers, anything that has to do with people, communication, which so many things do.
Got it.
Right?
Thank you, Mary. We look forward to your return next week.
Thank you.
And I encourage you to get to know Mary. Give her a call at 330-592-5793. Or you can visit her website, prescriptionsforhappiness.com. You're listening to Speak Up and Stay Alive, Patient Safety Radio. I am your hostess, Pat Rullo, and now you can join us every Saturday morning in Cleveland, Ohio, and in Phoenix, Arizona, or you can listen to us live online from anywhere in the world at the station's websites. We're also on the XDS Cumulus satellite for every other radio station in the country to pick up. So if you have a friend or a family member who would like to listen to this show, it's easy. Just contact your local program director and send them to speakupandstayalive.com. Well, it's that time again, everyone. It's time to play everyone's favorite game. What is it, Bob?
Shocking news from around the world.
And we have a special guest with us today. He is my co-host of our new radio program called Boil the Frog Slowly, heard on Orion Talk Radio on Sunday mornings, which, by the way, you can find at the website, the new website, boilthefrogradio.com. He is Sebastian Sanzotta. And in honor of his visit today, we are playing Shocking News from Around the World, the EMF edition. So we're going to get started and introduce everyone. Who do we have as our radio rivals today?
I'm Eric, and I'm a regionally famous radio producer from Northeast Ohio.
Regionally famous is a good thing. Who else do we have?
Okay, I'm Bob from Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I guess I was a former financial planner at one time.
It's been a long time, huh, Bob?
I forgot about it.
Right. And our favorite guest today, who do we have?
And I'm Sebastian, and the honor is all mine to be here on this fantastic show.
Excellent. So we are ready to play, all introduced up. So as a reminder, here's how it goes. Today, I will read a statement that will contain something that pertains to electromagnetic or radio frequencies, and you have to decide if it's true. We call it a shock.
Wow.
Or is it false? And we call it a crock.
Oh.
So you guys ready?
Let's go for it.
All right.
All right, we're ready. Here we go. The Speak Up and Stay Alive shocking news number 1. In Austin, Texas, homeless people have been turned into walking Wi-Fi hotspots in a charitable experiment. Is that a shock or is it a crock? Any takers?
Oh, I'll go first. Yes, I'm going to say it's a shock because it's probably true.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the shock on that one.
Yeah.
How do they maintain the power for them? Like, is it like walking? I don't know. I'll
She
just
caught you
say
off guard.
shock to agree with everyone else.
It's a good idea to say shock. If it sounds too weird, it's probably true, people. It is a shock.
Wow.
And it's called Homeless Hotspots, conceived by the folks running the South by Southwest Arts and Tech Festival in Austin. 13 volunteers from a homeless shelter were outfitted with these devices worn around their neck, almost like a name tag. Then they hand out business cards and they wear T-shirts bearing their names, such as "I'm Clarence, a 4G hotspot." Then the user can log into their 4G network. They have to be within 30 feet of this homeless hotspot in order to get service.
Unbelievable.
Do we have words?
I'm shocked.
Sebastian.
It's just crazy.
Yeah? I mean, using these people as like...
Using people as guinea pigs is not very nice. And that's what they are.
I'm still wondering how they're powering these.
Well, they're wearing a little, it looked like a little name tag plastic pouch, and then they had some kind of like a black...
And it's emitting 4G level frequencies at all times.
Right, and so then the people on the street stand next to them, and that's how they pick up the wireless access.
Wow, so they're basically...
They are routers.
Walking routers.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You talk about a cancer ready to happen.
If you think about it, all 4G phones today are constantly emitting. Let me take that back. All cell phones are constantly emitting, but the 4Gs emit more frequencies than the prior phones. So basically, they're not doing much different than what everybody has right now in their pocket and their purse. So shocking, yes, but what's more shocking is that everybody in the world doesn't realize they are already part of this experiment.
Ooh, good answer.
Wow.
I was all right. We're going to move on after that, or we might cry.
It's Kleenex behind you.
Hey, thank you. No, those look like disinfecting wipes. All right, guys, let's speak up and stay alive. Shocking news number 2. The first refrigerator has been hacked and has sent malicious emails. Is that a shock or is it a crock?
I'm going to go with shock because if it's technology, odds are it can be hacked by somebody somewhere.
Okay.
So it would not surprise me.
It was a smart refrigerator, and it was hacked.
Sound knowledgeable about this.
I read about it.
What do you think? Well, now, what do you think, Eric?
I'll just go with everyone else and say shock.
Unless Bob's got strategy and he's bluffing you.
I just watched a very interesting seminar by Devra Davis, and she talked about the ability to hack through wireless. And she actually gave data that proved it only takes X amount of minutes to hack into different wireless devices. So it was shocking how quickly someone with the right equipment can hack into a wireless device. Apparently, they are not secure at all.
No, not at all.
Wow.
A security firm called Proofpoint has uncovered a cyber attack that involved the hacking of smart home appliances connected to the internet. I think that has to be, they've got to be connected to the internet in order to send a malicious email. Well, hackers broke into more than 100,000 gadgets, including TVs, multimedia centers, routers, and at least one refrigerator so far, and used the appliances to send out more than 750 malicious emails between December 23rd and January 6th. The attack also included compromised laptops and tablets, but Proofpoint said about 25% of the emails were sent from appliances beyond the traditional internet-connected gadgets.
Talk about a refrigerator full of spam.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
That's excellent. This cyber attack could be the first proven breach of so-called Internet of Things, an exciting tech trend that promises a Jetson-like future with all of our home appliances and other gadgets connected to one another. But by 2020, the research firm Gartner expects that more than 30 billion internet-connected devices will be in use worldwide, up exponentially from the 2.5 billion in 2009. So guys, as the internet-connected world expands to thermostats, refrigerators, and even window shades, think about that.
Wasn't it General Petraeus that said, I can watch you through your dishwasher?
Spying you through your dishwasher.
He sure did.
Absolutely.
Eric is stunned.
Is your refrigerator smart?
No.
Oh, good.
But it's full, isn't it, Eric?
Not really.
Not of spam, is it?
No.
Yay.
No, that's just in the pantry.
Oh, gosh. All right. It's safe.
Hopefully it's not a smart pantry.
It locks and unlocks automatically. Oh, guys, here's the Speak Up and Stay Alive shocking news number 3. A Sylvester, Georgia man was killed while working on his unplugged microwave oven. Is that a shock or is it a crock?
That sounds so weird, it's got to be a shock.
Wow.
I'm going to go with shock because it probably has something to do with retained charge.
That's a possibility. Or it could have fallen on his head by taking it out of the thing. One of the two.
They didn't say how. What do you think, Eric?
I guess if it has some sort of internal CPU that keeps running all the time, there's something to power that. So I'll say shock.
Yeah, you guys are all smart today.
Wow.
The microwave oven was not plugged in. It was determined that the capacitor can hold as much as 4,000 volts and can remain charged when with dangerous residual electrical energy, like you said, Sebastian, for hours, even days after the microwave oven plug is pulled from the wall outlet. And then this apparently provided the current that caused this man's death.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it didn't fall on his head.
No.
But you would think,
It
hey,
caused
it's
him to
unplugged.
fall on his head.
Yeah.
Oh, so at least it wasn't a smart microwave.
Well, if you think about it, microwaves are emitting microwave frequencies, which are what smart technology is all about. So technically speaking, they are smart.
Kind of smart. Any more comments?
No, get to 4.
Oh, it's getting better, Bob.
No.
Here's a Speak Up and Stay Alive shocking news number 4. Visitors to one historical park in northern Israel are now free to surf the web as long as they sit on their donkeys. Is that a shock or is it a crock?
Eric, you go first.
I'm confused. Now, are these literal donkeys?
Yes, they are literal donkeys. It wasn't a euphemism for...
They literally have to sit on a donkey and use the internet? Is this what you're saying?
I didn't know they had donkeys in Israel.
Oh,
I'm going to say a crock.
all right.
Oh, but wasn't that part of the Christmas story?
With the donkeys?
Or no, that's part of Easter. Oh.
Is that the,
Yeehaw.
is that the North Star shining, or is that the light on top of a cell tower? I don't know.
Wow.
So what's the answer, guys? Is it a shock or is it a crock?
I said crock.
Okay, crock.
I'm
One
going to
crock.
go with crock.
Crock.
I'll just say crock just because I don't know how you would type while on a donkey.
All right, guys, I gotcha. It is a shock.
Wow.
Wow.
This is true. Donkeys, Bob, widely mentioned in the Bible as a popular mode of transportation, are being used in a 21st century way at Kfar Kedem Park by carrying Wi-Fi routers around the necks of the donkeys.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Now, the village has 30 donkeys, and they have equipped the first 5 with wireless routers that are attached to the donkey's body. So now the tourists, who, by the way, they want to take this seriously. They're dressing in traditional dress to experience ancient Galilee life through the Old Testament landscape by riding on donkeys. However, they can enjoy and share their experience via
The internet.
absolutely online. So these are now animal hotspots, and apparently they've become less controversial than the human homeless hotspots that we talked about before.
Well, this will be interesting to follow, and we'll see how long those donkeys last and how healthy
I'm
they
just wondering
stay.
how many are still alive right now.
Yeah. I immediately flashed to the story about the moose die-off that we're having here in North America, and when you read into that story, you'll see that they're actually feeding RF emitting devices with their food. So they have RF transmitters in their bodies, and I think they even have some collars. And moose are dying off. We've heard similar things with bats dying off, and it's been tied to RF exposure. So we'll see how long these donkeys last.
Absolutely. Even the honeybees, even bees are dying due to the smart meter RF. Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Any donkey comments, Eric?
No, I think I've exhausted them all.
All right, the last one, guys. This is the Speak Up and Stay Alive shocking news number 5. And you knew it was coming. Right, everyone?
Eric's smiling.
Yeah, I think I know what this is.
Right. The naked mole rat, once
Ooh.
again, is in the news.
All right.
Yeah, this time the naked mole rat is... this time as a naked mole rat skin cell phone cover. Is that a shock or is it a crock?
Don't even ask me.
I'm going to go with shock because I was actually thinking about how they would use the mole rat in research on this type of radiation exposure. And my guess is they're going to be doing all kinds of things using mole rats to see how to prevent effects or what the effects cause. So I'm gonna give a hearty shock on that one.
Yep.
Wow.
What do you think, Eric?
Shock.
I sent Eric an awesome picture, didn't I?
Yeah. She sent me.
We can't even explain it on the air, can we? All right, no comment. Bob, anything to say?
I have no clue.
All right,
I'm clueless on that one.
You're just not a fan of the mole rat, are you?
No.
It's like super mouse, pretty much.
It is super rodent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't surprise me that science would use that.
You got it. Sebastian's right. Researchers have long known that the naked mole rats don't get cancer or tumors.
Wow.
This ugly little rodent can live up to 30 years, as you said, and yet no naked mole rat has ever been seen to develop a tumor. Recent investigation has uncovered the fact that they do produce an oversized form of a substance called hyaluronic hyaluronic acid, which we talked about last week when we were deciding to make a skincare product out of that.
Yeah.
And these extra large molecules inhibit cells from growing out of control. So you're probably all asking what this has to do with cell phone covers. Here we go. For instance, more than 1 billion cell phones are sold each year. These little radiation-emitting boxes will spend their lives cradled against people's ears, riding in their hip pockets or in their bras, where their constant radiation is likely to cause an untold numbers of tumors in future years. Given the naked mole rat's famously stretchy and flexible skin, it can easily be turned into a cancer-absorbing cell phone cover.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how all that can...
I sense a new addition to the endangered species list coming up soon.
That's right. We better hug the naked mole rat, huh?
Oh.
What do you think, Eric? Would you have a naked mole rat skin cell phone cover?
Actually, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, I don't want to see a mass slaughter of naked mole rats.
All right. We don't want to exploit the poor little guys, right?
No, we wouldn't want to do
All right,
that.
so nobody pretend you didn't hear this. All right, guys, did you notice how everything was a shock today?
It was.
We had no croc.
Wow.
You know why? Because I figured we were talking about electrical frequencies and like electric shock and how that all kind of played together. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to summarize. Today we learned about homeless human hotspots. Say that 4 times. Malicious refrigerators, unplugged microwaves, asinine donkey routers, and perhaps the advent of the naked mole rat cell phone covers. So I have to ask, on what other patient safety radio show will you find this kind of life-changing information?
What other patient safety radio show is there?
Is there one?
Nope.
No, not that I know of.
All right.
It's a beautiful thing.
All right. So everyone listening, we're kind of making light of this today, of this topic to make a point, but this really is a life-changing situation and should not be taken lightly. So please don't mistake any of our chuckles as a sign for this being a frivolous topic. In fact, I spoke today to a former Harvard PhD in physics this morning who heads the state of Maryland's opposition to smart meters, and he said something quite profound that I want to share. He said to me, "It takes longer to learn about this than it does to get hurt by it."
That's a very significant statement.
I thought so as well. So a sense of urgency, yeah?
That's a true statement, and I've experienced that myself. So absolutely. I've been researching this for about the last year and a half, but I only started looking into it when I felt it affecting me.
Well, folks, Sebastian, Bob, and I hopefully will be testifying on your behalf at the Ohio House of Representatives on the smart meter bill, that is, if they do allow a hearing. And when that happens, we need you to drive to Columbus, not to speak, but just to be there physically, bring everyone you know so that we could show our representatives that it's not 3 people that are concerned about this, that the state of Ohio needs to be represented. Every single person needs to be there, that people shouldn't be radiated to death by this hideous use of technology. So please support Ohio Representative Matt Lynch. You've heard him on the show before. Awesome man. He's out there on a limb working with us to present a smart meter opt-out. So I hope that everyone will support him in the upcoming election because he is one of the few that gets it. Yeah. And if this topic concerns you, as it should, visit boilthefrogradio.com. Well, Bob, thank you for being here today.
You're quite welcome.
Eric.
You're welcome.
Sebastian.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure to be with such lovely company with you 3 men. And folks, don't move an inch.
There's more coming up.
There is. There's so much more you can learn about
You
patient
better.
safety
All right.
and the naked mole rat on America's favorite radio program, Speak Up and Stay Alive, Radio.
Gotcha.
And that's a wrap, guys.
Thank you, Pat.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thanks, Eric. Thank you.
Yeah. Broke the ice.
Kind of kooky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is your home stressing you out? Are your appliances and gadgets damaging your health? Are you concerned that modern technology could be ruining your and your family's health? So I'm suggesting that you have a healthy home consultation to identify problem areas in your home. It takes about an hour, and you will be given a comprehensive report that includes full recommendations on how to reduce the negative impacts of electric fields, magnetic fields, and radio frequency fields. Turn your home into a healthy, healing, and safe environment. And for a limited time, I'll even come out with them to meet you and help explain the findings. Don't feel like this. When you can feel like this. Schedule a healthy home consultation today, and I'll come too to meet you and share what I know about healthy homes. Call 440-725-5462. That's 440-725-5462. And remember, a healthy home is a happy home. When it comes to chiropractic care, many people shy away and have anxiety about having their body contorted or their necks twisted. At Roediger Chiropractic, you can relax. Dr. Roediger uses a gentle, low-force chiropractic tool known as the activator to make adjustments along the spine. Listen as I spend the next 2 minutes with my friend, Dr. Tad Roediger. He's quick, easy, and painless. So, Dr. Roediger, how is the activator method different from the common manual adjustments that include the bone-popping snap, crackle, and pop?
I get that question all the time, and I did manual adjusting for 10 years, and I'm very good at it. When I came up here to Chardon and opened my own practice, I picked up the activator technique. The activator is a handheld device that gives a controlled bump into the joint. It has some different settings for different pressures, but it is actually a manual device. It actually manually moves the bones, but it works more on speed than on power. More importantly, with the activator method is the way of assessing the patient, doing different tests each time the patient's in to see which vertebrae need to be adjusted, which direction they need to be adjusted, and which vertebrae don't need to be adjusted. If you've never thought about having chiropractic care, try it. Or get checked at least to see if it might be something that might benefit you. You never know what medical ailment it might help.
I encourage you to visit Dr. Roediger for a consultation. Call him for an appointment at 440-285-0756. Dr. Roediger is located in Chardon, Ohio at the Village Station, 401 South Street, just 1/2 mile south of downtown Chardon off of Route 44. Or you can always call him at 440-285-0576. You're listening to Speak Up and Stay Alive, Patient Safety Radio. I am your hostess, Pat Rullo, and author of the book, Speak Up and Stay Alive, the Patient Advocate Hospital Survival Guide, available at all of our live speaking events or at our website, speakupandstayalive.com. And let me remind you, if you are looking for a speaker for your next event, I am happy to share my expertise with your group. We can focus on patient safety and healthcare and hospital hazards or any other variation on healthcare, including the effects of smart meters, cell phones, and other technological gizmos. My presentations are always fun, fast-paced, and full of information you will not find anywhere else. So contact me and let's talk about how we can make your next event a memorable and worthwhile experience. Call me 440-725-5462 or email speak@speakupandstayalive.com. Include Speak Up and Stay Alive in your 2014 plans. Your audience will thank you. Well, today we talked about noise in the hospital, especially when it comes to alarms. And I have more suggestions in my book about this, so I hope you can get a copy of your own. And our lovely guest, Lisa Stewart of Solia Spa, explained why massages, facials, and a little pampering are good for our health. I highly suggest you visit her spa and website, soliaspa.com. That's SOLIA spa.com. Or call her at 440-526-0556. 22. Now, if you missed some of today's show, not a good thing, but it's not too late to hear it all. We make it easy for you. Simply go to the radio link at the speakupandstayalive.com website. Click the link with today's date. That's where you can also purchase the book, Speak Up and Stay Alive, the Patient Advocate Hospital Survival Guide. And let me take a moment to thank all of our radio sponsors and weekly guest experts, because thanks to them, we are here and that helps keep you safe. We have Schraff and King, attorneys for all of your advanced planning needs, Dr. Tad Roediger of Roediger Chiropractic, Hospice of the Western Reserve, Jack and Bonnie Warren of Comfort Keepers, Junction Auto Family in beautiful Chardon, Mary Sheehan Prescriptions for Happiness, and Lisa Stewart, Solia Spa in Brecksville. I encourage you to support these fine folks, and you can find their information at the speakupandstayalive.com website. Oh, and next week, you must come back. Our guest is important. State of Ohio Representative Matt Lynch with an update on smart meters that you must hear. So, tell your friends, mark your calendars, and set your alarms for next week. Same time, same place, but not the same information. Or you can listen live via the internet. Check the speakupandstayalive.com website to find out how. Start your week with an O. Speak Up and Stay Alive Radio. And until next week, I hope you have a healthy and a happy week. I am Pat Rullo, and I am your guide to safe and successful healthcare and hospital encounters.